here at the 2010 Toronto Motorcycle Show. This is really the first chance that we get to look at the new motorcycles for 2011. We were here yesterday and had a look around. This is the Ducati Diavel. It's Ducati's first cruiser. They would prefer you call it a power cruiser, but it's their first cruiser since the Indiana, which was a terrible motorcycle that was a huge failure. But this bike should do better. It looks pretty cool. What's interesting about it is it's got a 240 millimeter back tire, which is about that wide. I come from a family of people with really fat heads. So what's amazing about the Diavel is that the tire is actually fatter than my head. And I never thought I'd say that about a Ducati. The engine is actually from the Multistrada, the Testastrada 11. It claims about 162 horsepower. Of the two variants, this is the upgraded carbon model, which has the carbon fiber accessories. We haven't ridden this one, so we have no idea what it's like, but Ducati is trying to, as everyone else is, enter a new segment. This is the Yamaha Striker. It's a cruiser. You put your feet way up front. Actually, it's not so bad. The wheel's way out there somewhere, the front wheel. I rode one of these briefly, and it's kind of a nice bike. It actually functions really well. And you don't even really know you're on a cruiser until you hit a bump. And then you know you're on a cruiser. We're here with the Phaser 8 and the Phaser 8 display stand as well. You can see all the specifics. Some of the options for the Phaser: tall windscreen, $169.95. Top case, $274.95. Nice bike, middleweight, lots of power. Top case is nice, looks a little goofy, but this is what I like, the tank bag. And the tank bag is $99.95, under $100. Makes a great gift. This is a true naked bike, and it should be a segment leader in 2011. Actually, we're just kidding. This is a naked Super Tenere, which is the monster trailie. And there's one actually with bodywork. But this is what it looks like without bodywork. And most of these components I don't even recognize. But there's an engine down there. Let's just leave it at that. This is Suzuki's TU250X. It's a retro-styled single, and it's very tiny. It's minuscule. You could actually ride this without legs. And most bikes have the foot pegs down here, but that's actually the ground. The foot pegs are really up here, so it's very good. So short people rejoice. This is a new Suzuki sport bike. It's either the GSXR 750 or 600, and as soon as it gets around, I can tell you which one. It's the 750. It's a GSXR 750. It's one of the best sport bikes you can buy. It's so sweet. And this year it's new. It's got a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that, but it's a fabulous bike. Really. This bike is super low. Really, it is. It's the super low. It's the Harley-Davidson super low. And every year, Harley amazes us with bikes that have lower and lower seats. Soon the seats will actually be under the level of the ground. But it's got new wheels this year, and apparently there's more suspension travel, so it should be more comfortable. And it looks nice. The colors are lovely. Paint's beautiful. A year ago, I went to Spain to ride the new F4 MV. This is actually a previous MV. And in a bit of a surprise announcement, Motovan, which is an accessory distributor in Quebec, is now distributing MV Agusta motorcycles for Canada, beginning for 2011. What's surprising about Motovan being the distributor for MV is that we thought MV America was going to distribute them into Canada, but MV Europe has decided to bring them directly to Canada via distributor. What's really exciting about this is that MV has the sexiest new bike, this F3, which is a 675cc triple, which won't be built for another year or so, but it means we could hopefully get it in Canada. So with Italian companies, you never know. It's not really here until it's here. This bike is here, but we don't know if that bike will be here, but we can hope. The big news from Honda this year is this bike, the CBR 250R. It's the bike that Honda's been promising ever since they introduced the CBR 125 3 or 4 years ago. It's got a 250cc liquid-cooled single. It's priced really aggressively, $4,500 without ABS or $5,000 with. And the only question really in the mind of a lot of people is how will it compare to the 250 Ninjas? This is only a single and the 250 Ninja is a twin. So we'll have to ride them to find out. For 2011, Kawasaki has the Vulcan Vaquero. Our Steve Thornton is actually in Houston right now riding this bike. But it's kind of a blacked out cruiser in the Harley-Davidson style. Cruisers of this style often have this small fairing And these small windshields look really great, but sometimes they have excess buffeting, so we really hope this one doesn't. So wait till Steve Thornton gives us the word. For 2011, one of the most anticipated sport bikes is the ZX-10R. It's all new this year. I rode it a few weeks ago at Road Atlanta, which is a fast-flowing circuit like Mosport in Ontario, and it's a fabulous bike. Big news is traction control, because the bikes make so much power now that it's really beyond what most of us can handle. So traction control, it's got all these adjustable modes. You can control how aggressively it comes in. You can do wheelies, you can not do wheelies. And it's amazing how aggressive you can be with the throttle. And the bike will actually just compensate and not give you jerkiness. It's amazingly good and fast and smooth and even easy for me to ride. This is another bike that I rode recently in California at the press launch. It's the Ninja 1000. And the idea behind this is that what if you took the tubular handlebar of a standard and the fairing of a sport bike, and you put them together, then you'd have this bike. It's very much like the Z1000 that the Kawasaki makes, which is a naked bike, but it's fully faired, and you can see it comes with bags. This is candy lime green, and this is ebony. Same price for both. And it's a really easy to ride bike. It's got good wind protection. It's got an adjustable windscreen. It's really fast. And the bags are a nice option too. Although I don't know if it's really a two-up bike. If your wife is really slim and fit, maybe, but I don't know. It's more of a solo bike, but the bags are nice. So we're here with Chris Duff and some of the guys from BMW, and this is the first 1600 uncrated in Canada.
What we're going to do is take the bottom ones out so you can take the whole L off.
There seems to be some confusion actually to get the bike out of the box. Chris Duff was just explaining to me that this is not normally how the bikes are shipped, so this is why they're struggling with this crate, because it just last minute to get it here for the motorcycle show, so they just jammed it in a box. It's red, that much I can see. It's the GT in vermilion red. So this is the problem. The Germans, in their wisdom, sent it with a Torx bit. Who uses Torx bits except the Germans? So we might be getting somewhere. Here we go. This is the GT, and it's the first one in Canada. And you can see right here, there's a number 6 right on the end of the engine. That means 6-cylinder. The 6-cylinder engine is a really significant engine for BMW cars, because many great BMW M Roadsters and 5 Series Roadsters have straight 6s. So to have a straight 6 in a bike makes a lot of sense with BMW's heritage. And the old K1600GT, which had been around forever, it was sort of known as the other Goldwing, although it really wasn't the Goldwing's equal. So this bike will really be a grand tour and should be a great bike. Well, here we are the next day. The BMW's been uncrated. It's got wheels on it, windshields on. We'd actually like to sit on it, but we can't get close to it because everybody wants to get on it. So it's the K1600GT. There's one other version, which is the GTL, which has a top case, better for touring, although I'm sure this would be pretty good for touring too. It comes in 2 colors, red and gray. And we won't get to ride this bike until quite a little bit, probably into March. The launch is supposed to be in Texas, so it'll be coming up in the magazine and on the website.